Welcome back to the cabin. I'm back here today for a little bit of a different video. I'm getting ready to test out some camping gear just for my next camping trip. It's going to be in a couple of weeks. So tonight's going to be a special night. We're supposed to get lots of rain. It's going to be cold, 0 degrees. We're supposed to get some snow overnight, and it's just the beginning of October. So perfect time to try out my gear. Let's take a look. So as you can see here, I have a tarp set up, and I'm just kind of adjusting everything now, so I just have to work on this, but my sleeping bag and my hammock are in there. So I've had to do a few little repairs already. I haven't had this tarp out in a while, and you can see I just had to put a bit of tuck tape right here. There's a bit of a hole. I used this winter camping once, and so there's a little hole from a fire that got in the roof, but I hope the waterproofing is still good. This is what part of my test is going to be tonight. This hammock is one of my oldest hammocks that I have. It's from Costco. A friend gave it to me. So I'm going to use that. I have these locking carabiners here because it came originally with these hooks right here. And once I was hammocking and this loop fell out of here and I fell on my back, which is not good. So now I just kind of use the locking carabiners. You just kind of twist them to lock them in place so you can't open it like that. So the cabin's basically right there. No need to go that far to test this gear out. So basically I have a little bit of Zing It here. I love that stuff attached to this to kind of pull it out straight. What I need to do now is I need to adjust the hammock. It's sticking out. Would be fine if I wanted to look at the stars and stuff like that, which were beautiful last night, by the way. It's Thanksgiving here, so they called for a complete washout of the entire weekend. Rain Friday all the way through to Monday, but honestly, I've been here since Friday, and maybe a couple hours of rain here and there, so I'm able to get out and about and do stuff. Speaking of which, here's a clip from yesterday, a really awesome mushroom log update. So let's go see what I had to say. For those of you looking for an update on my mushroom farm, it's been a really dry fall, but we had some rain last night and a little bit of rain the day before, so I came to check my mushroom logs, and let's check it out. Success, look at that. They are flushing again. This time I didn't miss the flush. Look at those beautiful shiitake. Look at, decent size there. Right on. I'm gonna harvest them for a meal. So that was really cool. I had some shiitake for breakfast this morning, and I can tell you it was worth the wait. Very nice, rich, earthen, meaty flavor. They're high in vitamin D and B vitamins and iron. For mushrooms, give that nutrition to us. So that's really cool. So, man, that makes me want to get more logs going. I mean, you can see these beautiful websites where from mushroom growers, they have all these beautiful hardwood logs just sort of laid all up in the woods, 50 of them. And, they water them obviously so they get more production than I do. But man, it just really makes me want to really go full bore on this. So as you know, I waited a really long time for these shiitake mushrooms. So, anything worthwhile is worth the wait. So really excited. I hope this spring I get another flush. It should flush for like 5+ years. Like there's a lot of wood there that these mushrooms are having to break down. So here's to having many more years of shiitake mushrooms. Okay, so that should do it. I'm doing this little, I don't know if this is going to work, but if it rains down this little line here, I've got this to kind of, like a little drip line to keep it from kind of going in and onto the tent. When I lay in it, it's going to go down here. So it should be, that part should be fine, I'm thinking. I really have no more room with this size of tarp. So now I don't have an underquilt with me here. You saw that in my last camping video. So that's perfect for this kind of weather. I'm going to try this time with just good sleeping bag, wool blanket, and I have a little mattress upstairs. I'm going to just kind of tuck it in there just so the wind doesn't go up on my back. It's going to be pretty windy today. So I'm going to get that and tuck it all in there. We get everything ready before the rain hits, and then tonight I'm going to head on in there and let you guys know what I think about it. It's important to test your gear before going out on big trips. I don't know yet what I'm going to use for that trip. It might be the camp's wall tent, it might be my hammock, it might be the rear end tent. I've got lots of options, but I really love hammocking, so it would be really awesome if I can do this next trip in a hammock, but we'll find out. Also, important lesson here, I got some mold and just general guck on here, so I'm going to put this this side up just to kind of get a little wash down, then I can properly dry it before the trip. But always dry out your gear. Whenever we come back from trips, everything's sort of laid out in the deck, blazing sun, or if it's wintertime, in the basement, let it dry for a while. put stuff away wet, it's going to be a disaster. I mean, you know, I don't want to wreck my canvas wall tent, so I'm always putting it up when I come back in from winter camping because it gets soggy on the, on the ground and stuff like that. So, you work hard to earn your gear. You want to keep it nice and fresh for the years to come and not stinky and musty and moldy. A really good feature of this tarp, the hammock, is that it has these little clips right here that you just kind of pull to tighten, which is really, really nice. You can get set up to a tree like that and then just kind of pull it to make it nice and snug. You don't want it to get all like soggy and saggy and pool water and snow and stuff like that. All right, looks good. Well, this is super cozy. I'm pretty pumped about it. Yeah, I think this is gonna be great. I just need to get all my gear in here now. This hammock, not my favorite hammock. I can't wait to use the other one that I have that I used on my last camping trip, but that'll probably be the one that comes with me, to be honest with you, as well as the underquilt, if this is what I'm doing. But this is a good test setup for now. The other thing we did yesterday was to cut down some Christmas trees. This is an area we need to clean up. Might be putting another little cabin here, not sure. But had to take a couple of saplings. Those will be perfect trees, one for the cabin and one for home. Now that I'm already with my hammock set up, I'm gonna have some lunch. Gonna have some beautiful corn soup. Looks delicious. A little spicy as well. It's Louisiana corn soup. Just hanging out here in the tent this afternoon, getting the lay of the land. And I got my wool blanket on, and my moccasins, and just my little feather jacket here, my little goose down jacket. Anyways, just watch the birds. I set myself up right by the bird feeder. Normally I wouldn't do this, but because, bear season and all, but I don't know. We've got the dog around. There's nothing really moving around here right now, except the blue jays. There's lots and lots of blue jays. The acorns this year have been like phenomenal, so the birds are going to stick around. Looks like they kind of come in and they just like fill up their crop full of seeds and other things, and I think they stash the sunflowers. They must, because they just basically fill up really fast and then go somewhere and then like come right back and fill up again. So I can barely keep the feeders full right now. So I've got some really nice seed from Gilligalloo Bird as always, so they are loving it, and it's good for their health. It's not full of fillers and stuff like that. So it is getting cool out here. I really wish I had my under quilt with me. I don't have it with me right now, but I will have it, if I do take this on the trip. But I'm thinking for tonight I might want to put a sleeping bag kind of around it, because basically that's what the underquilt is, like a sleeping bag. I'm really warm on the top with my wool blanket. But the sides are a bit cool. The bottom's fine because I have the little thermarest in here. So anyway, it's starting to rain. You can kind of hear the rain above me. But I put a little bit of duct tape on that little hole so nothing will get in here. And we'll see if we get any rain tonight. So one thing I'm noticing while I'm out here is I'm watching the birds and I'm watching the blue jays. And I think I found a way to fully identify an individual. So when you're looking at their backs, they have a unique set of, white and blue patternings on their, their primary feathers on their back and on their tail. So I've identified these four unique individuals that are coming to the feeder. It's really, really neat. So I'm trying to get pictures of each of their back ends to see if I'm right. But each one I'm noticing is very different back there. I always wondered how some ornithologists could identify particular birds they were studying. And I don't know, I think I've just stumbled upon a way to do it for blue jays. Now, obviously there's size and factors and behavior that kind of tell you a little bit about each one, but for now I'm just focusing on the patterns on their backs and their tail. Very cool. Well, checking in from the hammock, it is 10 o'clock at night at about 2 degrees. It's kind of misting outside right now. We're supposed to get a few flakes of snow, so I'm hoping maybe I'll catch a view of that. Who knows? You can see above me I've got my Christmas lights on underneath the tarp here. So it's really nice. Provides a lot of little just nice lighting and stuff like that. I've got my headlamp here so you guys can actually see me because it is literally pitch dark outside right now. So all I can hear is wind. It's supposed to be wind gusts tonight to 40 kilometers an hour at times, and a steady sort of 15 to 20 kilometer an hour wind. So the it's been kind of raining all day. The tarp above me is really holding up. There's been no leaks. My gear is dry. And speaking of gear, what do I have right now? So for my bedding, I've got a thermarest mat in my hammock. I have a 0 degree bag. It's a really old bag I used to have like when I was a kid. And I think it goes down to about 0 Fahrenheit is its comfort level. It's like an old Trek sleeping bag. And on top of that, I've kind of wrapped myself in a wool blanket. So that is really keeping me warm. Like clothing wise, I've got my like wool socks, moccasins on, and I've got long johns, pajama pants, sort of like a long sleeve t-shirt, fleece hood that you see that I'm wearing right now, hat, and also I have sort of like a puffer vest on kind of thing. I also have a jacket out here too if I need it, if I get cold in the night. I have a little pillow back there as well. And of course I have my little toque on. Really important so you don't lose heat from your head, because that's where you get really cold feet and your head. So I was basically bundling myself up here tonight, hunkering down. Maybe I'll listen to a few podcasts or something like that to entertain myself. And of course listening to the wildlife and stuff like that. So unfortunately I won't be able to see northern lights tonight. It's really cloudy. It's supposed to rain basically all the way through the rest of the week. So with a few breaks here and there, I think. So probably get some rain through the night, maybe a little bit of snow. We'll see. It's going to be pretty exciting. Really excited to try out this gear. I want to try it out in all conditions. Just make sure I'm comfortable with setting it up still, and I'm happy with it still because it's a lot of older stuff. And I just want to really test out the wool blanket. Haven't really spent too much time wrapping myself up in one. Sometimes I will bring one on some trips, but it's a bit heavier. But I think for this time of year, it's flank season. I think it's really nice to have that. It's breathable, keep you warm even when it's wet, and just keeps you nice and snug. So with that, I'm going to head out to, I'm going to head to bed, and I'll check in with you guys a little later. Well, good morning. I'm here in the hammock, and it's about 7:30. I've been up since about 6, listening to the rain come down. It kind of pitter-pattered all night long, honestly. This is the heaviest it's been right now. It's about 4 degrees. I think it went down to about 2 degrees. Just turn the Christmas lights back on. I fell asleep last night. I was so tired. They literally timed out, I think, after about 5-6 hours or something like that, because I woke up in the night and the lights were all off. It's actually kind of cool. I want to do this on my camping trip, bring these lights if I do the hammocking, because it's really fun. It's like a lot of ambiance, you're just hanging out. Not enough to read by, but enough just to kind of, have a bit of light to kind of, if you're looking for something that you put in the bag, you can kind of help find it. So I was really, really warm. I'm wearing basically what you see me wearing here. Like I didn't even have my coat on. Like I had my coat tucked in the hammock here. I didn't have to wear it. My sleeping bag was warm enough, along with the my wool blanket. The wool blanket is like a must. You guys have to get a wool blanket. I got mine at an army sort of surplus store up in North Bay. Yeah, it was a real must to kind of keep me all snug in there. And the only time I got a little bit cold was if I happened to kind of roll a little bit off of my thermarest sleeping pad, and I touched the cold sides of the hammock. So that's where, if I had my underquilt with me, that would have been a non-issue. The underquilt would have kept everything really warm, like a warm pocket of air all around the hammock. So that's okay. Just kind of rolled back over, tucked the wool blanket against my arm or whatever was touching the side of the hammock, and I was good to go. So this morning, even though it's nasty out, the birds, as you saw, are already back feeding. It's been really nice and relaxing, just kind of feeling part of nature out here. Didn't hear too much in the night. Maybe coyotes in the distance, if that. I was pretty tired, so I just zonked right out. I only woke up a couple of times. I find hammocking really comfortable, so it just kind of puts me to sleep, as well as hearing the pitter-patter of the rain on the tarp was lovely. I heard this morning, the scuttlebutt is that there was a bit of snow just a little bit west of here, which means there probably was snow here overnight. Like it just probably melted, or maybe little flakes were flying around in the air. It just was misting all night, so I don't really know. I was hoping that I would sort of see a little bit of snow on the ground this morning, but no, this rain's too heavy to see that. So anyways, I'm gonna get up and gonna make me some coffee and have some breakfast. Yeah, I'm just enjoying my morning coffee this morning, and I'm back using my titanium French press. I got that many, many years ago for camping and never really got into it. And then I really got into French press coffee making these days. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's really good. Easy cleanup and super fresh coffee. So try it when you're camping next time. That's nice. It was actually really nice out there, as I said earlier. And, you know, I just got up because it started getting bright out, and I was like, oh, I gotta get the dog fed and stuff like that. So I'm just in the cabin right now making some breakfast. I've been using that skim milk powder more recently, so I've been making some cereal. Blueberries and just that milk, so that's really good. It's a simple breakfast this morning. I even had a pepperette earlier too. Nothing too involved today. I'm literally stuffed from Thanksgiving dinner. It's good. Yeah, it is quite damp out here. A lot of leaves mostly down, as I mentioned before. I was out and about poking around yesterday, and I want to show you something really crazy, and I need to tell me if you've ever seen this before. All right, so right here are some jack pine that are, I don't know, 7 years old. Let's take a look. Jack pine produce these pine cones, and they require intense heat to open up to drop the seeds. You guys saw in one of my shorts last year that I heated some up over the fire. The resin kind of melts and the cones open up and the seeds fall out. So I think the minimum temperature, what I read online, was 122 degrees Fahrenheit, or I think is it 50 Celsius is around there. So I was noticing the other day when I was just walking past these jack pine, several of the cones are open. So some are open partway. You can see that. Some aren't open at all. And some are open all the way. What? So that tells me that the heat in this field from the sun got that hot that some of the cones opened up where the direct sunlight was. That's wild. So they didn't need forest fire to open the cones. So I think this is really interesting implications. Obviously, climate change, things are getting warmer. We've had a very warm October. There were several days here in October, well, at least a couple. They're over 30 degrees with blazing sun, which means that, you know, potentially it got pretty warm out here. Years ago, I took a thermometer out here in the summertime, and I clocked at least 60 degrees Celsius when I was holding the thermometer. So it is very possible that these jack pine will self-seed just because of the intensity of the sunlight, the intensity of the heat that we're now experiencing here. Never used to see that all the time for longer periods of time. Now we're seeing that. So as the resin kind of softens with the heat, it's going to self-seed. So this is going to be a really interesting experiment. I want to watch this little jack pine stand over the coming years. So I'm going to make some eggs. Delicious. And now the eggs are cooked. You guys know I'm going to be making these shiitakes, just chopped up. I had some yesterday, and I'm just chopping up a little bit more this morning for breakfast. They are delicious. Such a savory, meaty, like really heavy textured mushroom. So a lot of people are looking for, you know, a texture of like meat or something, but they don't eat meat. This is really good, very savory, but of course would go really well with a steak or anything else that you're making it with. So shiitake is cultured in East Asia, and the shi stands for the tree Canadensis, where usually those are the kind of trees that they use to grow it in culture, and take, which means mushroom. So it's a delicious mushroom. I think now, you know, I've had some success with it. I want to get many more logs going of the shiitake. It's very flavorful. I've got bear's tooth fungus as well as oysters cooking over there. We'll see what happens. But I'm really impressed so far with like the big shiitake that I'm getting, and it's just starting to fruit. Of course, if I was here all the time soaking the logs, I'm fairly certain I get like a ton more of them. Well, I'm getting a teaser of what's to come, and I'm certain after this rain we'll get another flush, so that's pretty exciting. Of course, this used to be a farm field, and I've sort of let the pines grow up and do their thing with selective kind of thinning. And it's really neat. There's all these animal trails through here now, and there's a ton of deer poop, which Royce has found. And he's also been following a lot of the trails. Now, I don't remember there being this many trails, this many bedding sites for deer, like ever here. And I've been here 10 years. So that's really cool. I think animals are starting to come in here, use these things. It provides shelter for them. I've been noticing some of the bed down sites are like right up against one of the pines with some shrubs around it and lots of fresh deer poop and stuff. So they're out here. You know, hunting season's coming, but a lot of these guys are, you know, bedding down here in this part of the little reforested area you can see around me. It's really cool. Every year one of these pines grows another foot at least from every one of its branches. So I have to kind of trim to get through my little trails here, but it's really, really interesting. Part of the field will be left as such, just for some wildlife that kind of requires a field-like environment. Like we have some meadowlarks here that are endangered and they are nesting. So I don't want to get rid of all the field, or not get rid of it, but you know what I mean, reforest it. So I think that's really, really special. I mean, look behind me, this is crazy. This is one of my favorite spots sort of in here. It feels so magical. This used to be pure field. I drove a car through here 10 years ago. Yeah, and you can kind of see, like down in here, no more grass there. The needles, they fall off every year as the pines grow. They'll shed some of the needles kind of in here, and that makes the environment a little bit different. So not all the grasses will come up through that. So it's changing biodiversity here. So anyways, just wanted to give you guys a little update at the cabin and show you like my little test of my hammock camping gear in cooler weather, and it's working really well. So I've got another trip planned coming up very soon, so stay tuned. I'll be camping with Birch in the mid-fall. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right, have a great week as always, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Take care.